Good morning, y'all. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Hello, it's your girl Sharita, the Behavior and Learning Strategist, coming at you from the Morgan Unlimited Growth Institute. I have some important advice for you today. Y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm just gonna say it. This is the most important advice that I can give you about homework. Parents, you're gonna think I'm crazy. Teachers, you're gonna think I'm crazy. But I'm telling you that this is the game changer, okay? Now, when I tell you this advice, don't just look at it from right now where you're standing. Look at the long-term effects, all right? Good morning, Lola. I'm about to give some advice, and you probably going to leave the room. Probably going to leave the room. Y'all going to be like, what? What is she talking about? I'm telling you. The most important homework advice that I can give you is to let your child do their homework by themselves. Now, I know y'all gonna think I'm crazy. Parents, you know what I'm saying? Lola? Parents gonna say, if I don't sit with my child, they're not gonna do it. They're not gonna do it right. Or my child can't do the homework on their own because your child struggles really badly, okay? And then the teacher's going to say, that's the problem now. Parents don't help with homework at home. You understand what I'm saying, right? They're going to say, if parents help with homework more at home, then the kids wouldn't be so far behind. You understand what I'm saying? That's what they're going to say. Lola said, of course, we can't do it for them. Oh, you didn't run out the room yet, Lola? I thought you was going to run out the room. Listen. If your child struggles with homework, if as soon as it's time for them to do homework, they're saying, I need help. And they want you to sit there with them and do every little thing with them. Then they're doing the same thing in the classroom. And there are a lot of kids in the classroom. And they are not going to move forward. And it becomes a habit. It becomes their thought process around any assignment they're given to do independently. They're automatically going to say, I can't do it. I need help. This is hard. Automatically, okay? I've seen this in lots of kids. It could be something that if they would have just looked at it, they realize they know how to do it. Or it may be something that's tough for them, right? Lola said we have to look it over. Exactly. You're so right. And that's where I'm going with this. We don't initially do it with them. If they struggle, if they don't know it at first, if they can't do everything perfectly, they can do something. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm always telling my students, because, and my kids too, because they're not allowed to say, I need help, you know, as soon as they look at it, or as soon as you give it to them. They're not allowed to say, I need help, or how do you do this, or what is this word? My response is, what do you think it is? When we sit down with our children, we take that completely out. The process of thinking, the process of connecting with your homework, looking to see what you know and what you don't know. Number one, I was able to do number one. Number two, I'm not sure about. Let me get in there though. Let me get in there, really look at it. Let me try to read it. Let me try to sound out this word. Let me try to think, what could it be? Our kids have to think. And when we sit there next to them and they just watching us, and especially if we holding a pencil, honey, that's a no-no. We don't ever hold the pencil, okay? If we want to coach our children on their homework after they have done it themselves, then we have our own paper and pencil. We write somewhere in paper, and we coach them, and they write it on their paper, okay? And I don't mean spelling words for them. I don't mean none of that. I'm talking about coaching, all right? So, yeah, exactly. Try it, right, Lola? Try it. They have to try it first. And here's the benefit to trying it first. Number one, they can't get out of doing their work, and they can't get out of the effort, okay? Number two, they don't need so much one-on-one attention, which I'm hearing parents say that all the time. Welcome, Linda. Welcome. I'm hearing parents say that all the time, that my child needs attention. I have a new student that just came in, And my classes are very, the pace is kind of fast. And I teach my students to think and figure stuff out, and I'm always challenging them, right? So when they first come into the program, and they're not used to that, the way that I teach, it could seem like, you know, my child is not going to be able to do this. And this is what the parent was texting me and concerned about. My son's not going to be able to keep up with this. My son needs one-on-one attention. Let me tell you something. After a week, after 2 weeks, it looks completely different. Because it's not about, is this hard? Is this something my son hasn't been exposed to? It's about, is he able to think it through? Is he using the strategies to think this through? What can he do? What does he know? Did he give that? And then he was coached to figure it all out. Okay? He has to learn how to think. And when we sit next to our children and we do every little thing with them, when it's homework time, it's homework for both of y'all. Okay? Then they don't learn how to function independently. So the benefit is they learn how to function independently, doing it on their own and do their best. The other benefit is they learn how to focus. Okay? The other benefit, and this is a huge benefit, and this is why I don't like when we at home do our homework, kids' homework with them and teach them along the way and help them too much. And I've never liked when we are in school and the kids get that as well. Okay? When I was teaching in the classroom, and I had aides in the classroom, paraprofessionals, I used to tell them, don't help them. And a couple of aides used to have problems with me, and aides didn't last long in my classroom at first. Then I had one that worked with me, and she understood. If you help him write the word, spell the word now, you're going to be helping him the whole year. If you help him write everything, if all he has to do is tell you what he wants to write, and then you write it down, because he that can't spell, then you're going to be writing for him the whole year. Okay? So that's the last benefit. When they do it themselves, you can see what they know and what they don't know. Then you can close the gap. But they have to show you first, okay? So when Lola said we have to look it over, that's exactly what I mean. At the end, after they have done it, then when you sit down with them and you have them present. Now, it's not just you taking the paper saying this is right, this is wrong, this is what it should be. You have them present. And when they're presenting, even they will catch mistakes, or they will even then start to understand things a little bit better because they're looking it over for the second time. Then if it's something they really don't know, that's the opportunity for coaching. That's how you learn what your child is good at and what they're not good at. That's how you learn how to create an independent study program or plan at home, that every day for 10 minutes you're going to be practicing this, because when you did your homework you was good at this part but you struggled with this part, so we're going to master this part. That will never happen if when it's time for homework your child doesn't try, if your child doesn't sit by themselves for 10 minutes on that homework, at least working on it and doing their absolute best. Okay? I've been teaching this and talking about this for years. And the reason I came up with this philosophy, right? Like I said, and Linda, thank you for staying with me too. I said, when I start talking about this, y'all might run out the room, okay? Parents might say, my child can't do it on their own. If I don't do it with them, it won't get done. And my child struggles too much. They need one-on-one attention. The biggest mistake that we keep making. Biggest mistake. Then teachers say the parents need to help more, not less, right? There's a way that you do it. I came up with this philosophy because I have 2 daughters. My oldest daughter is 16 years old. And I was that mom sitting next to her, helping her through every little section. She was very smart. But helping her through every little section of her homework, every little piece of her homework, every little word of her homework. And because she was so unfocused, and if I got up to walk into the bathroom, to use the bathroom, or if I went to make a call, or I went to check the food because I was cooking, she would completely fall apart. She's unfocused. She's out of her seat. She's not doing what she's supposed to do. So I too felt like I have to be right there. And guess what? In school, the teacher felt like she had to be right there. So I knew as a mom, I had to teach my daughter how to function independently. And I learned that when I walked away and had these expectations, she was able to do a lot more than I thought I thought she could. Sometimes kids be pretending, okay? and then whatever she didn't know, I can coach her, right? Now fast forward 10 years later. My husband and I waited 10 years to have our next daughter, okay? So there's a 10-year gap there. My 6-year-old, when she first got homework, she was in kindergarten, she first started getting her homework. Was it kindergarten or first grade? She's 6 years old now. But when she first got homework, I was prepared to, because it's her first time, I was prepared to sit with her and do this homework with her. I was going to make that same mistake again, to be honest. But she was a lot younger than my older daughter. Here's the thing. My youngest daughter was in my tutoring coaching program. She was actually nosy in my class, sitting next to me, paying attention since she was 3. She learned how to read early, okay, and do math and everything. But then she was enrolled in my tutoring coaching program, and I taught her the same thing I'm telling you guys, you parents, to do, right? When it's time for them to do their work, they sit down, they do it themselves. She had to learn how to sit properly. She had to learn how to focus. She had to learn that she's still working on not talking when it's time to work, okay? These are the things that in school cause such a problem, and it disrupts your child's education and the education of the rest of the students, because they won't sit and just focus on it. So I taught her how to do that in my tutoring coaching program. And she was doing assignments, focusing and getting it done, okay? She was writing 5 or more sentences in 8 minutes, because that's a requirement, without talking. You understand what I'm saying? She was doing all of these things. So here's what I mean, why we parents can make such an impact at home and how it transitions into the classroom. So here's the day of her first homework assignment. We come in the house, and I'm ready to tell her, go ahead and put your stuff away. You're going to have a little snack. Then you're going to sit down. We're going to have homework. Homegirl as soon as we got in the living room, she took her shoes off, took her homework out of her book bag, and sat down and started doing it. She wrote her name and her date. She read the homework herself. She completed all of the homework herself, and I was amazed. I was like, okay. Because, yeah, I've taught her that, but this is school. This is different, right? No. They learn how to take initiative. They learn how to read it all themselves. They learn how to think. They learn how to focus. And they take responsibility for it, right? So this is why the biggest advice I can give you. Now, I know there are other things that kids need to learn. They may need to be coached on reading. Your child may be very low on reading or behind in reading, and they have to start from scratch, or they not master their sight words, or they have trouble with their addition and subtraction, or their multiplication. Reading comprehension is a big issue. It may be 100 things that your child needs to learn. But one of the most important things they need to learn is they need to learn how to sit, take responsibility. This is my homework. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to think. I'm going to figure it out. When I'm finished, I will call mom. When I'm finished, I will let the teacher know. You understand what I'm saying? When I'm done. That's the biggest game changer. Okay? And I'm not saying this just because, it's just a thought. My daughter does it. And my students in my program, that's a requirement as well. And I'll tell them in a minute, because they have to be in the room by themselves. That's why. Moms can't be in the room. That's why. Because when they're in the room, at first, when students first come into my program, they're looking around for mom. They might look sad or look troubled. So mom comes over and wants to help and all this other stuff. No. You're not working at your potential if you're not taking responsibility for it. And if it's tough, we always say this: if I don't know it, I will know it. I will figure it out. I got this. Okay? And I see kids function independently. I see them growing to take responsibility. I see them doing it themselves and doing their best. And then I see them after they do it, when they're coached, they become more motivated because they want to catch the mistake before you do. They want to see their progress. Kids love to hear you say, "Oh my goodness, look, you're getting better at your spelling. Okay, great job. I see you got all your periods at the end of your sentences. You did great on this. You got 5 correct. There's 1 you got to check. Which one do you think it is? Think. So we got to always challenge them. We have to always tell them to think. We have to always, because our kids can do so much more than we think they can. And they can do so much more than they think they can. If only we allow them the space to do that. And if only we're able to walk away. And I know moms is tough because I was that mom, okay? It's not just teaching and helping your child learn and become independent. As moms anyway, like they still hanging on to the umbilical cord. Like, going to the bathroom, you have people following you like it's a parade, your kids. You understand what I'm saying? So those are our babies, okay? So if they struggle a little bit, we want to fix it. If they look like, if they cry because they don't want to do their homework on their own, we want to fix that. We're like, this is too much for them. This is too much. No, it's not. Hey, y'all. I'm so glad y'all didn't leave me. My phone heated up and it said it needed to cool down. I didn't even realize. I was so excited about talking to y'all that I did not even realize that my phone was feeling kind of hot in my hand. Okay. Okay, so the last thing I want to just say, like, I really want y'all to trust the process and don't worry. Whatever your child is going through right now, you're going through right now with homework, that's right now. When you put these things in place, of course your child might be upset. Of course your child might even cry. And I know that that's going to be tough, okay? Because, and I hear this all the time from my students when they first come in, then they start to realize, my teacher helps me. I don't have to do this by myself in class. We all do it together. Well, I'm not your teacher at school, honey. That's not what we're doing, okay? So they get used to it. It doesn't mean that they can't do it. It just means that they are used to having so much help. And we have to stop doing that. We have to stop doing that. At home and in the classroom. So the biggest advice that I can give you. Hello, good morning. Good morning, Hannah. Hannah's texting me. The biggest advice I can give you is to have your child every day, when it's time for them to do their homework, they need to gather their own materials. Don't be grabbing a pencil and a book bag and a notebook and setting them up, okay? Kids as young as students start my program, well, it was 4 years old, but I'm teaching my first 3-year-old for the first time ever. She's doing good. But when they're 4 years old, I teach them this is your responsibility, okay? So don't be calling mom to get your pencil. Come to class prepared for success. Be prepared for success. That's the first thing they need to do to earn a point, okay? So Miss Sharita better not see your mom getting your notebook together, your pencil together, and you just watching. Once we got to get them to take responsibility from the beginning. When they take ownership, let me tell you, they will be so happy. In a moment, they might be upset and complaining. But when they are being successful and they're able to do things and they start taking initiative and they see it paying off, they are so happy. So first of all, they have to gather their own materials. Don't you touch nothing. Teach them exactly what they need to get and what you want to see. That's number 1. Number 2, they must sit properly. All right? Put your feet in front of you. No laying down, doing your homework, flipping on the bed, losing the pencil, okay? You know how kids be doing, right? That's number 2. They must sit properly, okay? Number 3, They must always be moving forward. And this helps with that habit of sitting there saying, I need help, I can't do it. Okay? Always tell my students, when I look up, I want to see eyes on that paper and pencil moving. Eyes on that paper, pencil moving. Eyes on that paper, pencil moving. Not sitting there for a long time saying, I'm trying to think of what to write. Man, when they come into the program, we get that out of the way in the beginning. There's no sitting there thinking. You're actively thinking. And growth happens when you are moving forward. It always, when you're moving forward in life, no matter what it is, if you're sitting down thinking about it, ain't nothing happening. But as soon as you start taking that first step, that's when everything comes together. So I don't allow my students to just sit there and think, okay? So the pencil needs to be moving. No talking. Tell me when you're done, okay? Set an expectation. You in the kitchen cooking. You got stuff to do. You in the living room chilling with your feet up. You understand what I'm saying? You're attending to the other kids. When I go to the room, when I look in here, this is what I want to see. I want to see you sitting properly. I want your feet in front of you. I want your pencil moving. If you're finished, I want your pencil and your paper in front of you and your pencil next to the paper. I want your hands folded and you sit there quietly. They need to practice this. They practice this at home with you, man, they're going to be doing great in the classroom. You hear me? Teach them this. Then after they do their homework, then they get to present to you what they did. And then they can see. And I always tell my students, like, so they don't have to focus on, I got to be perfect, I got to get it right. I'm going to say, after, you're going to see, how did I do? Did I get some of it right? Did I get close? Did I get it all correct? They need to have all those options, okay? And then if you got close, they can figure out what's missing, where'd they go wrong, or how to get back on track, or this tiny detail that they lost before because they wasn't, paying attention to details. I teach them that, all right? That's when you work. That's when you help your children, or instead of saying help, let's say coach. That's when you coach your children. Not in the beginning, not helping them get set up, not helping them read everything at first, not helping them with the answers and asking them, so what you think that is? Is it B? No. Is it A? No. Is it C? Yes. They didn't even do no work. They just guessed and asked you, and then you basically told them what was correct or not. Nah, man, let's make them work, okay? Tamikia, hey, honey. Says all this information is very true. My oldest had always been more independent than my second child. I had to learn to step back and let him do it for himself. And yes, the excitement and joy on their face is priceless when they succeed. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, Tamikia. See, I had the same situation, but mine was flipped around, okay? My first child, I did all that coddling and helping. And she didn't want to do nothing by herself. And by the second one, that's when I got it together and figured it out. Now my 6-year-old is reading on 4th grade level. She's very advanced. She works independently. She's doing math at a higher level as well. But that's because I learned later on. You would think it'd be the other way around, right? Tougher on the older one, and then when the baby come around, that's the baby, right? Man, I was messing up so bad in the first one. I had to get it together. I had to get it together, okay? But that's the thing. Parenting is a journey. We're not in here at the Morgan Unlimited Growth Institute. We're not in here trying to be perfect. We just trying to grow every day, okay? We're not over here feeling guilty for every little thing we're doing, thinking everything is our fault. We are helping our children be accountable as well, so that they can long-term have great benefits. And if it's the area where we need to grow, we look at it, we figure it out. Ah, man, I don't know if I did that the best way. Let me try something else, all right? I've been there. I've been a mother for 16 years. I understand. So we can say, hi there, yes, LOL. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah, y'all, don't worry. Just try it, okay? And when you try it, don't give up as soon as your child starts to complain, or if they get up out to sea constantly. That's them trying to get you to control them. But they have to develop self-control. okay? They're trying to see what is going to work to get mommy to come back in here. What's going to work to get mommy to sit next to me. And when that happens, just stick to your guns. And the first day, it might look like chaos. The second day, it might still look like chaos. The third day, if you stick to your guns, okay, and you stand your ground, because you know that this is best, your child will start to get used to the new structure. The fourth day, you're going to start to see growth. You know what I'm saying? You might even start to see growth after the first day, okay? But I'm saying that this is a process. So don't quit when they first start. Don't quit when it's tough in the beginning. Stay the course. Okay? I've seen it too many. I've seen this transformation too many times to not be 100% sure on what I'm telling you. Your child is a champion, and I know you know that, but they're more of a champion than we all know, because that's how growth works. We have no idea how amazing our children are going to turn out. We'll get surprised when they have the right structure in place and the right standards and expectations and the right belief in the, we believe in you and we're not settling for less. And just do what I said. That's it. They just do amazing things, okay? All right. I'm going to run to the store, so I'm making some spaghetti tonight. So I got to go get some ground beef, y'all, and green peppers and parsley and basil. I'm about to hook it up. But I'm going to make my own sauce for the first time. I usually use ragu, but tonight I'm going to use my own sauce. I'm going to make my own sauce with a bunch of tomatoes. Might use a little tomato paste. It's going to be an experiment, all right? Just let y'all know, it's going to be an experiment, all right? See, we learn every day. Even us, grown-ups, we learn, we figure it out. Might not be perfect the first time around, but we keep doing till we figure it out. And we must teach our children this, because they thinking instant gratification, instant help. If it's not easy, somebody gonna help me. Man, no, we're not doing that. All right, I love y'all so much. All right, if y'all want more information on my tutoring coaching program, I still have spaces available. You can send me a message, or you can send me a text message at 908-313-1973. It's best to go through WhatsApp, but that's my direct number. Okay, all right. Believe in yourself. Believe in your child, honey. And always remember that growth is unlimited. It's unlimited. And I love y'all. And thank you for hanging with me today. All right? Peace.